This is another edition of Easy, but Not So Easy. I'm your host, Tony Reeves. Let's get going. At some particular point, you might find yourself in a legal situation where you're looking to hire an attorney. Hiring one tends to be a little difficult. And depending on your case and your circumstances, you may find yourself on the receiving end of a rejection letter where that attorney or that law firm has decided they're not going to take your case. But I want to talk to you today about the easy and the not so easy aspects of receiving a rejection letter from an attorney or a law firm. So let's get into it. First, let's talk about the easy. One particular easy thing is now you know they're not going to take your case. So you go into a law firm's office, you've shared all of your documents, you've answered all their questions, and now you're kind of in this waiting pattern while they decide whether or not they're going to take your case. Now, in your mind, you're thinking of a variety of different scenarios as instead of you sitting there waiting for months or weeks on end for them to give you a decision, you now have a definitive thing in front of you that can tell you that they've decided they're not going to take your case. Another reason is it may confirm to you that this firm or attorney may not have been a good fit for you. Sometimes what ends up happening is that after you've had the opportunity to have your interview and consultation, you may start having some doubts about whether or not this is the best fit for you. So as a result, you may decide that you want to go in a different direction, but you may also make the decision that you're going to kind of wait just to see maybe you're wrong. So all of a sudden you get a rejection letter, whether you know it or not, you may take a deep breath because you already knew this wasn't probably a good fit, but since they've now decided they're not going to take your case, you don't have to worry about contacting them to tell them that you don't want them to take your case. So at least now you know you don't have to deal with this individual anymore. You can now move on to your next one. Now let's talk about the not so easy part. One not so easy thing is that you may feel that their rejection letter is an indication that your case is not good. A lot of times you'll get probably a very, very form letter that doesn't give you a lot of details. If they communicate through their ads that there's a particular type of case that they typically take, you may instinctively think to yourself that they're signaling to you that your case is not good. But the problem is that if you don't have someone, or if you're not speaking to someone who can kind of explain to you why they may not have taken your case, or even they don't tell you that, you may take this feeling that that the reason why they've decided to not take your case. If you were in a position where you're trying to go from one attorney at a time in terms of looking, you really want an answer fairly quickly so that if you need to pivot to someone else, you can. So when you go in, make sure you ask how long will it take for them to give you a response. Finally, the biggest not so easy, they may not tell you the reason why they didn't take your case. When you bring all of your evidence and you pour your heart out in your consultation and you're telling this law firm or attorney about your case, and then they tell you in basically a one-sentence letter, hey, we've decided not to take your case, we wish you the best of luck. Now, let's just be clear. From a business standpoint, there could have been a variety of reasons why they didn't take it. Maybe they've decided to go in a different direction and they're no longer taking these types of cases and they've made that decision while you came through. It could be a whole host of things outside of your case itself, the reason in terms of what's going on with your case. So if there is a problem with your case and they don't tell you, you may feel as if you're at a disadvantage because now you're worried that because they didn't take your case, then if you go to somebody else, they won't take it easy. But the reality is that because you don't know the reason and they are under no obligation to share that with you. Now let me strike this up here for my purposes. Every state bar is different in terms of what explanations they have to provide. But if you're in a state where the lawyer doesn't have to tell you the reason for rejecting your case, then you're now finding yourself in a situation where you have no idea what the problem areas of your case may be, and you have no ability to fix what it is that may have caused them to reject it so that other attorneys may not reject it either. If you get rejected, take it upon yourself to check out other law firms, because just because one rejected you does not necessarily mean they all. Rejections are part of the process. Just recognize and understand that you have to be willing to engage as well so that you can hopefully connect with a law firm that can take your case. But if one doesn't take your case, just know that's also a part of the process as well. I can't tell you the reason why a law firm or attorney didn't take your case. And I can also tell you that, yes, I understand that you feel a particular way when they do. I just want you to recognize that when you're dealing with law firms typically are making business decisions about why they will or will not take a case. And unfortunately, you may be on the receiving end of it. Just be patient and understand that it's a part of the process. It may not always work to your advantage, but at least engage the process so that you can try to find something or someone who can represent you to the best of their ability.